Hello, this is the English class for students in level 3, and this week our class is going to cover the topics future tenses and conditionals, and also the vocabulary that we covered in the first video on this lesson. My name is Nilton Miranda, and we are going to start with our topic in this week. Now, what are the goals or the objectives of this class in during this week? Well, I want my students practice what's the future with will and the future with be going to. I want they learn the difference and similarities of them and how to use them, when to use them also. If they want to talk about the future, I want they know if they have to use will or be going to. They will also practice real conditionals. And about real conditionals, we are going to cover two topics. Number one, zero conditional, and the second is the first conditional. So zero and first conditionals that are called real conditionals. Now, at the end of this lesson, I want my students learn how to talk about their plans, how to make predictions using the future, and using also the conditionals, and how to express rules and possible results. There is a final goal or activity at the end of this lesson, but to get there, we need to study, listen, pay attention, and learn all the topics and structures and examples that are in this on this video. Let's start with a short reading to get into the topic. Scrabble. Do you know Scrabble? It's a board game that people in the United States tend to use, organizing different letters as in the image, and they organize words in English. Some letters has some letters have more points than the others, and if you organize words with mm, letters that are more valuable, they are gonna get more points. At the end, the winner is the person or player who has more points during the game. There is a short conversation here. I want you to pay attention, listen, practice your reading and also your listening. Learn how to pronounce some expressions and words. And be careful, try to identify what expressions are in future with will and be going to if you have previously learned this topic. Let's start. Hi Paul, what are you doing today? I'm seeing my dentist at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Have you got any plans for today? I'm meeting John and Jane at the cafe. We are going to play Scrabble. Maybe you might join us after your appointment at the dentist. Sounds good. I think my appointment would finish at 4 o'clock. I'll call you when it finishes. Then I can join you. Great. We're going to talk about the Interrail. We'll need your advice. Alright, I'll give you very valuable information about the trip. Look, Andy's coming. Oh no, he's going to see me. He lent me his geography book and I've lost it. Now he'll probably ask me about it. Okay, I got it. Bye, Paul. In this short conversation, maybe or probably you could identify some expressions or some examples of the future with will and be going to. For example, in Paul's sentences, we can identify I'll give you very valuable information. And in Emily's, there is an example with be going to. He is going to see me. Now, let's identify what's the future and what are the differences between future with will going to, with be going to, and future with will. Well, we use the future tense to make predictions, to talk about planned events and intentions. For example, the one that was in the previous conversation. We usually use will and the expression be going to, am going to, is going to, are going to when we refer to the future. For example, I think Sue will arrive to Paris at 6 p.m. I think Sue will arrive. Will arrive is an expression or a sentence in future. We are going to sing at the party. We are going to sing at the party. Are going to sing is also an expression that talks about the future. They are, well, as the structure, they are completely different, but their goal is the same. Both expressions or sentences talk about the future. Let's start with the future with will. We use will or its contraction ill when with this structure. The subject, that can be a pronoun or a proper name, Susan, Paola, Wendy, or he, she, I, we, plus will, plus a verb, plus a complement. In this chart, you can see the structure and some examples about affirmative, negative, and interrogative sentences with will. And remember, the structure of this and the appearance of the future with will is really easy. You just need the expression or the auxiliary will plus the verb, and the verb doesn't change in any person. For all is the same. I will, you will, he will, she will, we will, they will, and after will you need the verb. I will win, I will travel, I will relax, I will sleep at night. For negative, we have the long form and also the contracted one. In about the contracted one, we can say I will not win the match or I won't win the match. The most common is won't. Won't is the most common expression to talk about negative sentences in the future with will. So, I won't sleep right now. Why? Because I'm making this video. Or, you won't pass this class if you don't study. That's another expression if with will. Now, about questions. About questions, as questions with in present simple or past simple, will is the auxiliary, and you are going to start the question with will. Will I win the match? Will I go home? Will I finish this quadrimestre at ITSA? So that's the future with will. Let's practice a little. According to the previous chart, I need you to complete these sentences. I'm gonna fix or figure out the previous or the first two sentences in order to explain how to complete the others. The number one, as you can see, is a question. So, as a question, you are going to start with will, then the subject, that is this concert, and after the subject, the verb. In this case, raise. So, will this concert raise money for our school club? Will this concert raise money for our school club? The second one is a negative sentence. So, instead of using will not, try to use the contraction. So, number two is his parents won't punish him for being late. His parents won't punish him for being late. Now it's your turn. Complete the other sentences in order to learn a little bit about the future with will. Now, the future with be going to is similar to the previous one, as you can use be going to express the future, but the structure is a little bit different. We use the correct form of the verb to be and this structure. We need the subject, the verb to be, after that the expression going to, and after that the verb. Finally, the complement. Here are some examples. I'm going to play soccer. You are going to, As you can see in affirmative, you just need to change the verb to be. I am, you are, he is, because the rest of the sentence is almost the same for all of them. So, if you want to talk about your sister is she. So, she is going to study French. Or, my brother is going to travel today. My brother is going to travel today. That's future. Remember, be going to, you change the verb to be. About negative sentences, you have the long form and also you can use the negative contracted form. That is the most common. So I'm not going to play, you aren't, or you're not going to play, you aren't going to play, he isn't going to play soccer. When we get to the questions, remember, in questions, you need to place the verb to be at the beginning of the question, and then the subject and the expression going to the verb, etc. Am I going to play soccer? Are you going to cook dinner tonight? Is she going to finish this book today or tomorrow? Based on this chart, I need you to complete these future tenses with be going to. Number one, as in the previous exercise, I'm gonna fix or figure out the first exercises so you can complete the others. Number one, he, he, he am, he are, or he is. He is. So he is going to phone his friend. He is going to phone his friend. Number two, we. We am, we is, or we are. We are. So we are going to play a new computer game. We are going to play a new computer game. Now it's your turn. Complete the next sentences. If you can, try to complete them in a negative way or as a question in order to practice more about the future will be going to. Watch the video again if you need it, and after this, complete the following questions in this lesson. See you.